How's it going, guys? This is my first ever time going live on my YouTube channel. So let me get my camera set up just for 1 second here, and then we will be set to polish up these dirty, nasty looking boots that I used in my last World War II reenactment. So it's gonna be kind of hard to keep me and the boots in the frame, but I will do my best here. So here are the boots. Oh god, they have stuff falling off of them already. As you can see, they're pretty, oh my, can you hear the sand pouring out of these boots? How's it going, guys? Thanks for joining. So these are the boots that I used at D-Day, Ohio. So they are like full of sand, they're disgusting, and they need to be polished before I go to my next event. So, oh, look at, there's like, I'm gonna have to tilt the camera down to show you. There is a pile of sand forming on here just from shaking these boots out. So I definitely have my work cut out for me. What's up, guys? Thanks for joining, everyone. This is my first time using the YouTube live feature, so wow. Yeah, this is gonna be a lot of fun. Where's my next event? The next event I'm going to is the Beaumont Tactical. It's a World War II battle at Camp Beaumont. I've never been there before, but I'm going with my World War II 83rd Infantry reenactment group, and should be a lot of fun. So I'll have to get these spruced up before then. These boots are actually kind of messed up on the side here. Hopefully that's nothing serious. There's a serious amount of sand coming out of here, guys. These boots are gonna be like 5 pounds lighter. Let me pivot the camera down. This is just the sand that came out of one boot. Look at that pile of sand. This is just for me shaking out the boot. I mean, it's just pouring out of there. So yeah, this will be a great time. My goodness. That's the problem with going to D-Day, is that when you go, like, sand gets in everything when you're running around on the beach, and then afterwards you have sand coming out of your stuff for like the next year. I mean, I was getting ready for the event and had sand coming out of my stuff. Sorry, I'm trying to get the chat options to work here. There we go. Somebody said I should play Fortnite. It's like a war game. I've played Fortnite before. How to lace the boots. I lace them just like normal boots. You'll see some guys in World War II do that like fancy ladder lacing, which some guys did, but it is, not everyone did that. Someone said you should go to a reenactment this Friday called Steam to Victory. Is that one in, where is that? That's not in, I'm trying to think. I've heard of that. I don't know where that is. Yeah, somebody said those are really dirty. That is definitely true. You have your World War II, your grandpa's World War II tech sergeant cap. That's pretty cool. Someone said they did French, so no sand in their boots. That, you know what, that might be the smart way to go. When I do airborne, I don't get sand in my boots, but the beach battalion wore these same kind of boots here, so I kind of have to deal with them for that. I'm gonna shake a little more out over the sink and then try to pour what fell out of the boots onto here into the trash or the sink or something, so that I'm not left with it just on my kitchen counter. People are said, sorry, 1 second. That water is meant to clean my boots, but I can drink it now, I guess, because I haven't put anything in there yet. But I didn't think to actually get water for myself to drink. Someone said, how long does it take to clean and refurbish a reenactment uniform? That depends what you mean by refurbish. I'm not sure what exactly you mean by that. Somebody also I saw asked if I live in Ohio. I do. I do live in Ohio. I can't get it so that the chat just like stays on screen. Does anyone know how to do that? I guess not. After it gets dirt and sand. I let my uniforms get dirty and sandy and just leave them like that. I don't clean them up at all, which is, whoa, knocking stuff over. That may not be the best method for some of my original stuff, but for reproduction uniforms, just not washing them gives them that like worn in look that original uniforms would have. Let me take the laces out of these boots, and then the first step is just going to be to wipe them down and keep dumping the sand out of them, and then hopefully they will be ready to take some polish on there. I'm just pulling out the laces here. I guess I should do it so you guys can see what I'm doing. Nothing fancy. Just delacing these boots. You gotta take the laces out to polish them so you can really get in there. And I bet that under these like side flaps here, there's even more sand. Wow, there's all kinds of stuff in there. Don't even know what that was. So let me shake that out. Somebody said, what is World War II? I don't know if there's a great way to answer that. Oh, sorry I made you crash your plane in your game by looking at the chat. You should flood your house and say it was a reenactment of World War II. What would I be reenacting there? Enlighten me. What would flooding my house accomplish? I mean, if you can make a great argument for why I should do it, then I'll consider making a video on it. You guys. All right. I have my shoe polish stuff sitting over here. I wanted to polish these boots at the reenactment because I went from the battle to a like World War II style dance, and actually a wedding that was like done in World War II style. What's up, guys who are just joining? Thanks for joining. But I couldn't polish them before I went to the like wedding and the dance, so I just showed up with them looking like this, and I felt bad about it, but I just had no time to clean them. Somebody said to go to. Oh, someone said if I flood my house, I could do Navy reenacting while being at home. That's a good argument, I guess. All right, I finally got the laces out. I gotta see, I might wipe these down somehow, but for now, I'm just gonna set them over there. All right, the next step in this is going to be to grab my rag. I have a rag over here. And this rag actually was a t-shirt. I don't know if you guys remember, but for this year's reenactment, I got some new t-shirts and like stenciled them with my information. And I had to redo that this year because last year when I did it, I made my shirts and they shrunk really small. So here's one of those shirts. You can see it looks like a little crop top. So yeah, apparently I don't know how to do laundry, but I don't know. I washed them on cold, but I think I maybe dried them poorly. Liberty Aviation Museum. I would have to check that out. Alright, I am wetting my rag. I'm going to start wiping these down. I mean, look at them right now. They are gross. I should put real bombs in my house for a World War II reenactment. That would be very authentic. I'll give you that, you know? And that's a creative idea, so I'm not going to shut you down, but I'm going to say that's unlikely. I don't know if you guys saw my video where I took these boots and put original World War II boot dubbing on them, but it really like sealed them up. And there's still some on here. That was about a year ago now. So it's wearing off for sure. And these boots are kind of beat up. I'm finding that they have a crack in here, like between the sole and the bottom there. I might have to take these over to my friend who's a works as like a cobbler. See what he can do about them. Someone said they saw my M1 Garand video last night. Thank you. Yeah, I was so excited to get that M1 Garand. Thank you. Yeah, I was really excited to get that. Like I said in the video, I wasn't kidding when I said that I've wanted an M1 for almost my entire life. Like ever since I was a kid, it was my dream to have my own one. And, you know, let me see. Sorry, I'm just trying to read the chat while I'm polishing here. So just wiping everything down. Already this is an improvement. At the event, I tried to wipe them down a little bit, but I did not get very far. Man, these are just pouring sand out of them. I don't know if you guys can hear the sound of the sand pouring out, but it's like non-stop sand just coming out onto the counter. So I'm glad I put something down underneath that. M1 Carbine and M1 Garand are good guns. I definitely agree with that. I'm excited to use the Garand in a reenactment because I've always like heard about what it's like using the M1 Garand in battle, and obviously a reenactment is an actual combat, but it gives you a good feeling for what it would be like to be equipped with that type of weapon. And I don't think I've ever done a reenactment with the Garand before. I've used a Thompson and a Springfield, and I've used a Browning 30 cal machine gun. Let me see what's going on in chat here. Someone said I should end the stream by doing an M1 ping. That's not a bad idea, honestly. Maybe I'll just start doing that in all my videos. Steam to Victory is in Sugar Creek, Ohio. That's probably not that far from me. I'd have to look that up. What if I fill my house with unpolished boots and say it's a reenactment? I don't know if I can get behind that one. That one doesn't make as much sense to me. Someone said they got a World War II backpack. Sorry, let me scroll back and see. Just got a World War II backboard. Oh, gotcha. I have one of those too. Mine's dated 44 as well, I believe. Someone said they got clips for a Garand. When I was at the D-Day reenactment this year, I bought 50 clips for my M1 Garand. Your great-grandpa was in the 113 something something. That's good to know. You should find out more information about that. It's probably interesting stuff. Especially if other people in your family aren't into this stuff, you can kind of keep that history alive and then tell your kids about it when you're old. 2 50 cal bullets dated 42. That's awesome. I have a 50 cal round, but I don't think it has a date on it. Could be wrong about that. And this dirt is really in here. Someone said, what boots should I get? That's hard to say. These ones are from Corcoran, and they're good. I don't know if they're the best, but they've lasted me. I've had them since, I think, 2015. So I've been using them for a while now. And they've held up just fine. But, you know, maybe not the best on the market, but for the price, I think they're a good buy. I will say, the Corcorans they make now all have like a brown sole. And the boots in World War II, some had a brown sole, but the black soled ones were more common. So that's something to keep in mind. Someone asked where they can hang up their World War II web gear. I don't know. Someone said Corcoran made the boots in World War II for paratroopers. Yes, that is true. Corcoran was the manufacturer, but that doesn't mean these are exactly the same as the ones they made back then. They're very similar, but they are just a little different. I've heard that the ones from At the Front are very good, but they're also expensive. I think they're like $300 a pair, which is a lot to pay for boots, especially if you're going to be like, you know, shoving them in the mud and everything like I did with mine. I do try to polish mine pretty quickly. Let me see. You're going to Steam to Victory to reenact. That's awesome. Let me know how that event is. I'm not going, but send me like a DM on Instagram with some pictures or something and tell me how it goes. I'm always interested to hear about different events that I haven't been to. I'm trying to shake more sand out of here. Restoring an M1C paratrooper liner. That's pretty cool. I have an M1C, well actually mine's an M2 paratrooper helmet. The M1C helmet was used at the end of World War II, and the M1, or the M2 was used at the beginning. Someone said, what's my Instagram name? It is World War Wisdom. Just like my YouTube and TikTok and everything else. Just at World War Wisdom, all one word. I post a lot of my reenactment pictures on Instagram, so if you don't follow me on there, I would highly recommend it. Alright, these boots are shaping up nicely just from wiping them down. They definitely still need polish on them, but they at least look better than when we started. I mean, look, you can see I polished them right before the last event, so they probably still have some polish on there, but I mean, look at the toes, look how beat up they are. Hudson, Massachusetts on October 8th and 9th. I'm actually going to a different reenactment that weekend, so I will not be there. I'll be at the Camp Atterbury reenactment in Indiana. Someone said I inspired them to start collecting World War II stuff. That's awesome. That's definitely my goal, is to get people interested in history, and it's always great to hear that people got into this hobby because of my videos and stuff. I love that. Alright, so now I'm going to dump some of this sand off one more time. Oh my gosh, there's like an entire beach in here. Okay, so now that I got that off, I can actually start putting on some polish. Alright, got all kinds of polishing stuff here. So let's see. I think I'm just going to use normal brown shoe polish. I've heard some people say that if you put a coat of black on your boots, it gives them a nice look. Like even though it's brown leather, doing one coat of black sometimes will give it a really nice look, but I think I am going to stick with brown for this one. Oh, someone has a World War II Navy gas mask. That's really cool. I do not have one of those yet, but I think they're really awesome. The only gas mask I have is a civilian gas mask, but it's from World War II. I'm trying to find which of these. I guess it's over here. I have so much shoe polish, I don't know what's been opened and what hasn't. Alright. Let me bring up the first victim here. So I'm probably just going to scoop some up with the rag and rub it around on here real good. I'll probably use a good amount on this just because of how beat up they are right now. M37 wool trousers. That depends. If you're looking for those, are you looking for originals or reproductions? It depends on what size you need, because I would say if you need a smaller size, then originals are the way to go, but if you need large size, you might be better off using reproductions. Some people want to use a reproduction anyway, no matter what. That's totally fine too. But I generally use original pants. I was looking for some of those a while ago too, and I couldn't find them for the longest time. But I ended up getting like a number of pairs. What price Glory or World War II impressions? I don't know about that. That's a good question. Those places I've heard both make good ones. I would assume the World War II impressions ones would be higher quality. but they might be more expensive too. They have a reputation for making really high quality stuff, but I don't own any of their wools, so I can't say if they're good or not. Or at the front. At the front is also a good option. Okay, you DM me pictures. I'll look at those after the stream and try to get back to you. But that's pretty cool. Thanks for sending those over. Yeah, I try to look at my Instagram DM, so if you guys ever have a question, I can't promise I'll get back to you, but that's where you have the best chance. That or my email address, worldwarwisdom@gmail.com. Alright, I'm just trying to get this polish on here. I'll be using a brush to kind of polish them up a little better, but right now I'm just trying to get it on there. And I'm not the best, like, this isn't meant to be instructions on how to polish your boots. I am not the best at it, but I do definitely need to do it, so I figured I'd hang out with you guys while I do it. Man, these are really eating up this polish. Let's get some on the front here. Man, I wore these at the reenactment for, let me think, 4 days, 3 days, 4 days straight. And so they definitely got a lot of wear on them. And a lot of that was in the sand on the beach and in the sand around our little bunker that we make. All right, I'm gonna switch to my brush and try to use that a little here. See if I can start to, you can see they're starting to shine up already. Someone said they don't polish their jungle boots. I don't really have much of an opinion on that. A lot of people, oh, see ya, thanks for stopping by. People are saying goodbye. A lot of people do or don't polish their boots for a number of reasons. I like to polish mine, one, just because I like the appearance of it, and also it's more authentic. Guys used to polish their boots. I know people sometimes will say, like, what's the point in polishing them? They're just gonna get dirty again. And at a reenactment, like, a lot of soldiers would have had dirty boots on the battlefield anyway. But I usually like to start every reenactment with polished boots, and then they'll get dirty during the event no matter what. But it at least keeps them in nice shape. It makes it easier for next time I need to go shine them up. Man, these things they needed this, let me tell you. Yeah, I understand that. A lot of times, I mean, it depends what you're reenacting, but not polishing your boots is definitely authentic for a lot of different situations. Just depends on what you're going for. Alright, I'm putting the polish on pretty thick on this one, and we'll see how it turns out. Like I said, I'm just trying to get it in here and onto a lot of these nooks and crannies. And then I'll go in with the brush and keep polishing it up and see what else it needs. I'm going to kind of go through with this little brush around the outside. Oh, what's up, Virgil? I didn't even see you in here. Like I said earlier, I'm having trouble reading the chat because it is not staying up on my screen for some reason, so, you know. Somebody said, am I going to do more lives? I definitely am. This is my first time going live on YouTube. I usually go live on my TikTok page, World War Wisdom, if you don't follow that already. But this is my first time live on YouTube, And we'll see how it goes. So far, I like it. Except, like I said, it's hard for me to read the chat. Alright, let's get these polished nice and dark. Sometimes it really takes some friction to polish these up. So Jake Evans keeps asking me about ginger ale, and I would say it's good. It's not my favorite, but it's good. Prevents leather from cracking and drying. Yeah, that's true. Some people prefer to just dub their boots. Should you polish the top of M43, the part with the buckles? Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. I would assume yes, but obviously you should dub the rough out part of the leather, but that part isn't going to soak up the dubbing. I don't think it's as important, but yeah, you can at least oil that part and stuff to keep it from drying out. Someone asked where I get my medical stuff. It depends. I made some custom bandages. If you watch my videos I've been posting of the battles that I did recently, I made some like reproduction bandage boxes and put some gauze bandages in there and then used those during the battle. So it was a little more realistic. Because the World War II bandages, I have a lot of originals, and they almost always came in boxes. So I made some boxes to use, and then I had like a medical tool roll, and that was an original military one, but I think it's from just after World War II. But it has a lot of just like forceps and stuff like that in there. All right, these are polishing up nicely. I'm gonna go around one more time and then I'll show you guys what they're looking like. All right, what do you guys think of that? Those are looking a lot better than when we started. Still not perfect, but I think the polish job, I might try to get in here a little more, but it's kind of hard to tell what's dirt and what's not on here. I put some of that, I think I said this earlier, I put some of that original World War II boot dubbing on here at one point, and that stuff like really kind of soaks into the crevices and gave it a bit of an interesting color and texture in there. So I can't tell what's that. Thank you. Yeah, I think they're starting to come together here. Still got a bit to polish up on the front and the tongue. Use this little brush. Getting sand all over everything. Before Lockport. I hear that's a really good reenactment. I've never been to that one, but that's on my list that I'd love to go to at some point. That one in Rockford is another event that I hear a lot about. All right, I think this boot's just about done. Look at how shiny that is. Wow. That is so much better than when we started. Let me compare that to the other one, which I cleaned off but haven't polished at all. So you can see there's a pretty big difference between these two. Yeah, so they're coming along. Thanks, Virgil. Thanks, Ava. All right, I'm gonna dump some of the sand off of this thing because even no matter how much sand I try to get off of these before I started polishing them, they're still just dumping sand out of the inside from the beach in Conneaut, Ohio, where I had my last reenactment. let me catch up on chat here and see if there's anything else that I missed in the last couple minutes. Oh, you'll be at Rockford? That's awesome. 502nd C Company. I do 502nd B Company. So that's awesome. Someone said they're surprised only 13 or 14 people are in here. I wouldn't be surprised about that. I didn't announce this anywhere. I just kind of started it at a random time on a Sunday. So I'm happy with 13 people being in here. I thought it'd be fun to try something out. Like I said, I usually stream on TikTok and I get a bunch of people watching on there. But, you know, this is a little more intimate, you know? Someone asked if blanks have a kick, like if they have any recoil. In general, not really, but keep in mind that one, there's still like gases escaping the end of the barrel, so that'll create some force backwards, but nothing like when you're firing a real gun. And then also, it depends what you're firing. Like if you have a semi-auto where the action is cycling every time, just the mass of that action moving back and forth, that'll also create some movement of the weapon, but in comparison to a real gun, it's like nothing. Where did I get the jump boots and what impressions do I do? So I got these jump boots from Corcoran many years ago, and as far as what impressions I do, I don't do Battle of the Airfield. I haven't done that event, but I've heard that's a good one. But as far as my impressions, I do 101st Airborne, 502nd PIR Baker Company. I do 6th Naval Beach Battalion. I do 83rd Infantry Division. And for all of those, I've done like medic, and I've done just like leg. Or I've done medic and I've done rifleman, or I'm going to start doing that. And as you'll see in my videos, I've done some other weaponry as well for my reenactments. So I've used like a Thompson, a Springfield, a Browning 30 caliber machine gun. See a history in gaming. Thanks for stopping in. Trying to apply this polish on here with this little brush right now, and then I'll polish these guys up. You can see the toe here really took some wear. That's like all the finishes rubbed off of there, so that's where I really need to make sure I'm doing a good job getting this polish on to kind of soak in there and recolor it a bit and match the rest of the boot. Alright, I'm going to go around. I'll probably need to do another round of applying polish, but this will be a good start. So let me polish these up. Somebody said there's a World War II mode in Roblox. I didn't know that. That's cool. Are there any Pacific reenactments? There definitely are. I have not done any, but I'd definitely be interested in doing that in the future. Somebody said they're going to D-Day next year. That'd be awesome. That reenactment is a really cool event to check out. But I only do, sorry, I'm trying to look at how these boots are coming along. I only do Eastern or European theater of operations, not Pacific, as of right now. Try to get the tongue here as well. This part in here is often really hard to get. Have I ever rode in a Willys or a half track? I have done both, actually. I've only been in a half track at one event, but I rode in it a lot of different times, which was a lot of fun. And that was pretty cool. That's like half tracks you don't see as often. There's Jeeps at every event, but you don't get to see as many half tracks. And man, that thing was fun to ride in. It's a really jumpy ride though. It is not a smooth ride at all. but I had a lot of fun riding around in that thing. And then, as far as Jeeps, I've ridden in a lot of different Jeeps, and that never gets old. Those are so much fun. Last time I rode in a Jeep was at the D-Day reenactment. I guess I rode in a couple of Jeeps at that one. So, it's always nice getting to do that. I'd love to have a Jeep someday, but they're expensive. Expensive to buy and expensive to maintain and transport. Toe here. Let's see. It's kind of hard to get the polish in here. They had Pacific Vehicles last year. That's pretty cool. Did they just have US, or did they have Japanese vehicles too in other countries? These boots are reproductions. Just followed me on Insta. Thank you. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that I have an Instagram, but that's what I post all of my reenactment pictures on. So if you're not following me on Instagram, you're missing out big time. It's just World War Wisdom, the same username as TikTok and YouTube. And the sand is still dumping out of these things. Alright, let's go over them again here. They're starting to look a lot better. It's always fun to drive the Jeep. Virgil, do you have a Jeep? I feel like I've seen a Jeep in some of your videos. I can't remember if you have one. Yeah, you did. Oh, that is so cool, man. I would love to have one someday. That is like the coolest thing ever. Those Jeeps are so much fun to just drive around events and everything. I've never driven one. I've only ever been a passenger in one, so gotta cross that off the list at some point too. Would happily drive you around the market garden battlefields. I would love that, man. I would love that so much. I'll have to make the trip at some point. Someone said that you want to do reenactments, but you're young and have ear piercings. Well, being young, I made a video about that. Most groups, you have to be at least 16. Some maybe let you be 15 or 14 even I've seen, but that's typically the age cutoff. But as far as ear piercings, if you take your earrings out, I think you'll be fine. All right, I think these are about done, guys. Get the back here. Yeah, they're coming together nicely. All right, look at the shine on that. Now we got two boots, nicely shined up. I mean, compare that to how gross they looked when we started. They're still dumping sand out of them though, but that's not gonna stop anytime soon. I think I'm gonna have to get a bag to put these in before I take them back to my office. I'm gonna rinse off my hands over here real quick. I got polish all over them. I'll have to put the laces back in here before we wrap up. 1 year in is 12 and older. Huh, that's interesting. That's cool that you found a group like that. I know a lot have higher cutoffs. Let me dry my hands here. Wipe some of this stuff up. Alrighty. Now just to put these laces back in. I might just wipe these down with a wet paper towel before I put them back in, because I'm not gonna polish these or anything, but they are kind of dirty. Starting paratrooper for 101st or 82nd. Very cool. As you guys know, I do 101st. I just edited a video of a airborne battle that I did at D-Day, Ohio, so I'll be posting that probably on like Wednesday of this week, if I had to guess. You had to be 16 or older. Well, you can always join when you're a little older. I am not going to World War II days in Rockford. Not this time, but there's always next time. I'm glad I wiped those off. They were like black. Alright, time to relace these boots. People were asking how you relace these, and I typically just I lace them like just normal shoes, which is how a lot of people did in World War II. You'll see sometimes they did that fancy ladder lacing, but a lot of times they did that for wearing their dress uniform and stuff, more than just wearing them in combat and stuff. These laces got a little bit stiff because I dubbed these as well when I dubbed my boots, and really don't know how that affected them. They made them feel stiffer, but I don't know if it protected them or made them worse or better or whatever. The tops are a little more flexible than the bottom of the laces, because that's the part I'm always taking out and tying and everything. When I take these boots off, I have to unlace them almost all the way down to where I have them now. Someone said, I'm not sure how much dubbing affects the non-rough out boots. That's very true. They don't obviously soak them up like a rough out leather boot would. It does kind of get into all the crevices and help seal them up. At least the kind of dubbing I used was like the sealant one, not the just leather oil that you treat them with. So I do think it kind of helped waterproof them a bit more, but it really doesn't soak into the leather nearly as much when you're doing it with these type of boots. It also said to apply the dubbing to the inside of the boot as well on the can. This is original dubbing from World War II, but I am so glad I did not put it on the inside of my boots, because that stuff was kind of gross and it was like sticky and smelled like chemicals, so I wouldn't want that on the inside of my boots. Alright, I'm not going to lace them up any further just because I have to unlace them a bit anyway to get them on. Someone said if I want a Discord, they'll make me one. That's a good offer. I appreciate that. I haven't thought too much about that in the past, but I would definitely be open to considering that. Send me a DM on Instagram if you haven't already. And if you have already, send me a new one. Alrighty. Well, we're almost done here, guys. I'm happy with how these are turning out. I really needed to polish these things up. They looked terrible. How did I lace these? I want to do them the same way. People are, as always, debating 82nd versus 101st. A debate that's raged on since the war. Nice. Those look so much better. Let me hold them both up. Bada boom. Look at those nicely polished boots. Alright guys, I think those are about ready for my next reenactment. Trying to read through some of these. I have thought about doing some videos breaking down my impressions. I should do more of that soon. I actually recorded a video of all the gear I was going to do for my Beach Battalion impression, but then I didn't get it posted in time for the D-Day reenactment. I guess I could still post it, but I didn't get that done in time and then just moved on to other things, so. You need to buy the paratrooper helmet. Yeah, for paratrooper helmets, I got mine from WWII Inc. That's a place that I recommend. I probably still will post that video at some point here soon, showing my Beach Battalion equipment. And I'll probably post more videos in the future about like the role of the Beach Battalion and stuff. It's funny because when I'm at the reenactment, I give like whole presentations to groups of people about the Navy Beach Battalion, and then I haven't made that into a video yet, so. Alright, I'm trying to get some polish off this brush. I think it's about good. Give this one a couple wipes too. Let me scroll down. Should I paint on helmet decals on a beater original helmet? I guess that's totally up to you. I would say no if it has original paint that's still nice, but if it's beat up, I see nothing wrong with refurbishing it. Someone says the at the front helmet is good, but the liner sucks. Yeah, I've seen their liners. They use the plastic ones, I think. And that's what I like about WWII is that you get an original liner that's, oh man, these are still sandy. You get an original liner that's refurbished, and I think those look a lot better. Alright. But not many people see your helmet liner anyway. It's up to you, but like, I like having a liner. Even for my infantry helmet, I use I got sprayed with some water there. For my infantry helmet, I just use a post-war liner because those are a little more available. I probably wouldn't use an original World War II liner with the original straps and everything, just because those are becoming a little harder to find and getting a little more expensive lately. So I wouldn't want to ruin one by using it in reenactments. Definitely expensive, but so yeah, the J. Murray helmets are expensive, but they're definitely worth it. I'm going to bed. All right, Virgil. Thanks for stopping by. Great talking to you as always. I'll probably be heading out here myself now that I got those boots all polished up. I have sand in it. I got sand even in my polishing kit here. Someone said, were the Beach Battalion only a D-Day thing? No, they were involved in some of the other amphibious invasions in the Pacific and the European theater, and the Mediterranean as well. The 6th Naval Beach Battalion specifically wasn't formed until D-Day, but some of the other ones saw actions in the Pacific and the European theater. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for stopping by. As always, make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you're not already, and subscribe or follow me on Instagram and TikTok at World War Wisdom. If you have more questions for me, you can always comment on my videos. I try to read through those. So yeah, thanks so much for stopping by. I'm gonna keep cleaning sand off of my stuff probably for the rest of the day. So thanks so much, guys. I got a bunch of new videos coming out here soon, so watch out for those. And I'll try to do some more live streams here in the near future, but I'll keep you posted on that. All right.